Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of 911 Fox, Season 5, Episode 16. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows, and do reactions. If you return, you're one of my peoples, welcome back. Now, I just want to go on a tiny rant before I get into this review. If y'all don't know, I like to record the shows that I'm going to be reviewing and wait till they're done so I could just I can just fast forward through the commercials. Well, for whatever reason, the last two episodes of 911 on Fox, it's getting a lot of buffering, it's getting a lot of, pausing almost, and then jumping to another scene. Now I'm upset because I paid my good money for cable, mainly because I like having a DVR so I can fast forward to some things. And like there was a part of me I was like, I really just want to like get rid of cable altogether and probably just get YouTube TV. But with YouTube TV, I cannot fast forward through the commercials. So this is where I find myself stuck at. So I was like, there is no way that I can get through this review if it's doing this because I'm gonna be missing some crucial moments of the episode. Thankfully, the Fox News app had the episode up. I was shocked. I was like, this episode went off like an hour and a half ago. It's up. I was grateful. It's just that I had to wait through these commercials. And like every so often they would let me know that this is my little free. I guess I didn't sign into my account. I just signed in as guest. And it was like, since you a guest, you only get to watch the show for an hour. So pick and choose what you want to watch because we only give you an hour. That's all I had to get off my chest. I was highly annoyed because I paid good money for cable, and here I am having my doggone issues with the Fox. Maybe it's just Fox, not the cable itself. I don't know. But we start off the episode, and it's a car chase, and seeing that white SUV rolling down the street. Now I know I could not have been the only one that immediately thought of O.J. Simpson. That's where my mind went. So the girlfriend is in the car with the boyfriend as he's going on this high speed chase, and she calls the 911 dispatch and lets them know, hey, I'm in the car with my boyfriend. He is the one y'all chasing. I'm just letting y'all know I have nothing to do with this. I am held against my will. I would like for y'all to not arrest me thinking I am some sort of accomplice. Side note, when I used to watch Cops, it was one episode where I seen somebody get away. Now, other people may have gotten away, but this one episode, the police are pulling his car over. It was two dudes like, you know what, if you finna take off, let us out. And you go on that because I don't want to be an accessory or accomplice to flee in the scene. So they got out. Another police came and, checked him and all that other stuff. Driver books it, goes down to like some embankment like situation, got out the car, jumped down the embankment, and took off running. And the police and the cameraman was looking like, I'm not finna jump down there. That's what I'm not going to do. He just got away at this point. He's young. We're older. He's in shape. We're not in shape. I'm not about to do it. But anyways, I started cracking up because she was like, he's probably on his way to his mama's house because that's where he always runs to when he's in trouble. She lives on Weatherly Street. He's like, man, why you telling him all my business? I'm over here cracking up because I'm like, she gonna let y'all know that's where he at. That's where he's on the way to. But he ends up ditching the car in his own foot. Now May is trying to direct the police where to go. She's like, come over, go over to this alley over here. But Claudette, I don't want to say she hating, but she being messy and she jumped on there and she was talking to some other folks and it was like, yeah, go down this way, go down this alley. And they was able to catch him. And now she getting all this praise. And I'm looking at her like, I know you didn't. And May's looking at her like, I know you didn't. But she's over there, oh my goodness, that was such a good idea. She's like, it was the only reasonable response. I'm like, girl, yes, it was, but it did not come from you. I still don't know how she was able to jump on May's calls and get the director stuff, but I don't know, maybe seniority. Now, y'all, the repairman did not get his name, but I was suspicious of him because he was down there. He was already up in one room tinkering around. And then he went down in another room and he was kind of sort of looking suspicious, and he got to moving wires and doing this, that, and the third. I'm like, he doing something that he should not be doing. But I was totally wrong when doggone it. He puts two things together, and that doggone it explosion knocked him back like a piece of doggone metal, knocked him back too. He all hurt and whatnot. That caused like another dude, Carson, who works in the building. He is in a room where this device sucks out all the oxygen in this room. I don't know what you need that for. I guess I don't know what reason you would need to have a device that sucks out the oxygen out of the room. Thankfully, Eddie was on his, he was on his fireman instincts things, and he went down to like the room where dude was at. It was like, oh snap, he in there. There's no oxygen in this room. He didn't pass out, so he didn't got the the fire extinguisher and all that. Well, he got something. I don't remember if it was fire extinguisher. Was able to break the window out. I was like, oh my goodness. So now the dispatch is on fire. May and Claudette, they are stuck in the quiet room because May has had it up to here with Claudette. Like, first you was taking my doggone credit for my call, then you redirected my ambulance, and all Claudette could say was, "What did they get to your patient or not?" That's all that matters. So now they didn't got put on timeout. But the thing is, the 911 dispatch is on fire. This was I was on edge this episode. I really was. I was screaming. I was clapping. I was shouting. I had to grab my husband's hand because I'm up there nervous, especially the last few minutes. I was just done. Um, I was calling her Vanessa Williams, but I stopped doing that after the last scene. But Claudette is starting to have a panic attack when they realize that the building is on fire, and May is there to comfort her and like realize that Claudette is a burn victim, so she's having a little PTSD. Yeah, PTSD. I had to think about that because that did not sound right when I first said it. But yeah, but she's going through all that. Cause, old dude was down there tinkering with stuff. Their sprinkler system is not working. So it's like, okay, really, we got that going on. And it's like Sue, head honcho manager lady, we like Sue. She was like, they talking, and Bob was like, so where's May? She's like, oh my goodness, I done forgot May and Claudette. They in the quiet room with so much going on. I just got distracted. I was like, Bobby is about to lose his mind because he's like, May is his baby girl. Like he said that earlier when May was, venting to Athena and Bobby, like Claudette, she getting on my nerves. She doing all this thing. And he was like, he was gonna be Papa Bear. He's like, you don't be messing with my daughter. Okay, so he trying to get his baby girl, and he's probably thinking, I cannot lose her the same way I lost my first family. I cannot do that. That is what I cannot do. But he was able, going there trying to break things down. May, she is trying to cover Claudette. Claudette, she is in the doggone the corner. She wasn't rocking, but she might as well been rocking. While that's going on, Albert and Chimney, they are working together for the first time, and a roof gets to collapsing, and doggone Albert was almost gone. And I was like, every time there's a scene with the Han brothers, I get nervous because y'all know on this show, these two be going through it. Chimney had a bar through his neck. Not this is not the neck. This is not a neck. Through his head. That's the word. Didn't he get stabbed by Maddie's ex-husband, and Albert, like his car flipped and rolled and did a lot of things? So, when all the commotion is going on, I get nervous for the Hahn brothers. But Chimney was able to doggone pull him so he didn't fall all the way through. I was yelling with that. Then we see Bobby and doggone May. They doggone running through the building. He doggone, covers her because a big old fire blaze was coming that way. He's like, don't tell your mother. The next thing they would say, running, the doggone roof doggone gets collapsing. I am hollering because what I'm seeing, and then they playing that. They might as well been playing In the Arms of the Angel because they was playing that really slow you know something bad is about to happen. Music that they be playing in TV shows and movies, and things is going slow for no reason necessarily at all. When I tell you I'm up right now, I go to I don't even have my husband's hand. I have his thumb, and I'm squeezing on it. He's like, he looking at me like, really, dude, you this is a TV show. You getting all worked up about this. But 911 on Fox does that to me just about each and every episode. But luckily, the way the ceiling fell, the day was like enclosed, so it's like they was down here, and like the debris was stacked around them, so they didn't get it on them a lot, maybe like a leg or something like that, but like vital organs and stuff like that and head, that was saved. And I was like, oh my goodness. Then I was like, where is Athena at? She should have been the first person on the scene when she heard that, hey, the 911 dispatch is on fire. And to make matters worse, it's like, if something is going down, there is no help on the way because the 911 dispatch is up in flames. One of the young ladies who worked there, she trying to help an older man who was like lost in the park, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I just cannot imagine, because that happened to my grandfather-in-law. Me and my husband seen him, and like to this day, I was like, I wish I had a got out of our car and jumped in his car because he was not a driver at night. But I didn't think to do that, and I didn't have time. 'Cause I was like, that's his car, and by the time that thought formed, he had already taken off. Come to find out, he had ended up way on the other side of Houston somewhere because he had got lost in disorder too. And I was like, oh, child. So, y'all, this last scene got me really like, before that, we're going to go back. May's all right. Bobby's all right. Bobby needs to be taken in an ambulance, but Bobby is being, I'm fine. But May's like, I'm riding with him. That is my dad. And he was like, you ain't got to say that. She was like, I have two dads. You were one of them. Get in there. And then when he was like, in the emergency room, not want to, take orders. She was like, "Oh my goodness, when you y'all gonna listen to what the doctor was saying?" He's getting it from Athena and from me. He's like, "Yes, ma'am. I guess I will." Yes, your baby girl is trying to tell you something. Now, lastly, Claudia ends up going into cardiac arrest and moved to the hospital. She was fine. She maybe had a little bit of shock and had some coughing going on because of smoke inhalation, but it was nothing bad. Now, this part I had to rewind because I was like, what did he say? And, Henrietta was looking at him like, what did you say? Now, he said he should have been able to save her. He usually saves them. And I'm like, that's an odd choice of words to use. I was like, what do you mean you usually save them? And May is like, what's going on? Like, she wasn't having any heart problems. She was like, I don't know. But Henrietta, her wheels were spinning. Now, this led me to believe that y'all know how them crazy nurses be like injecting patients with medicine that they're not supposed to be on to cause a reaction so they can swoop in and be like giving them something that counteracts that so they can be like the hero. That's what I think I'm getting from him. Some kind of weird, twisted hero syndrome where he's harming folks in order to save them. This is what I'm getting. When Henrietta was talking to Karen later on, she was like, it just wasn't sitting right with her. And she was like, you've always had a feeling about this dude. Maybe there was a reason that something didn't quite sit well with you, with him. And I was like, I'm thinking so. I don't know if she can get into the records of all the people he have helped miraculously that have gone down, and while he's there, they find like they was fine, and then they started going down, and then he was able to pop up and save them. I don't know if she can go into the records without anybody knowing and without being suspicious, but I am suspicious of him. So That was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. This free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so my beautiful face puts up a video. You can click on it, you can like it, and you share with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you one of my peoples, oh, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people, tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.